Good morning, viewers. Welcome to Conversation Shorthand classes. Get ready. 5 seconds. It was indeed a great surprise for me to see a tremendous improvement all over Japan since my last visit in 1937. This country had been practically destroyed in the Second World War. However, much bigger and better buildings have now come up in place of the old ones. A foreign visitor is astonished to see a wonderful growth not only in trade and industry in modern Japan but also an increased activity and interest in the daily life of its people. It may be rightly asked as to how this country, with no natural resources worth the name, had been able to completely overcome the almost total destruction of the Second World War, but during the course of the last 15 years, it had also been able to export all sorts of its products to the four corners of the world. No cotton grows in Japan, but its textile goods have earned a well deserved reputation both in quality and price. Not an ounce of iron ore is found anywhere in Japan, but it supplies iron machinery and steelware to almost every other country in the world. Its wonderful achievements led to the conclusion that it is not the raw materials but men that can make a country. The secret of the remarkable rise in trade, industry, and prosperity in Japan lies in certain outstanding features of this country and its people. Some of these important features, which mostly struck me, are hard work and simple living, mutual cooperation, discipline and devotion to duty, and love for the country, etc. Every man in Japan had great faith in the dignity of labor. No job is less important or too difficult for him. His living is simple. He sincerely believes in hard work. He works throughout the week, refreshes himself by enjoying the weekend, and prepares himself again for putting in harder work. His interests are many, and he knows how to make proper use of his earnings and spare time. Religion has no importance for him. An average man in Japan is so busy with his own affairs that he hardly finds time to think or talk ill of others or to interfere in others' business. When he reaches the age of 18, he tries to be self supporting rather than a burden to his parents. It is pity that our country, which is so rich in raw material and natural resources, depends on foreign countries even for the supply of food. Unfortunately, an average Indian thinks more of his own self, his community, or his party than the country. The net result is lack of cooperation in almost every institution. The main spirit of live and let live has not at all entered our private and official life. Our young men and women are in no way inferior to those of any other country in the world. But the above mentioned qualities which have made Japan one of the most prosperous and highly developed countries in the world are lacking in our people. I venture to think that if we teach our younger generation the dignity of labor, sense of discipline, spirit of devotion to duty, and sincere love for the country, most of our failures will gradually disappear and will be placed high among the other forward nations of the world. Dear sir, you will remember that a short time ago you wrote to us asking if we had any vacancies on our staff. Unfortunately, at that time we were fully staffed and I wrote to you accordingly. We are very glad to mention that we have since improved our business to a great extent by opening several branches all over the country. As a result, we now find an opening for you and we wonder whether you would still be interested to join our institution.